Why is it important to genuinely have a relationship with yourself and love yourself? Let's talk about it. Welcome and welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And I want you to know that before I get into this video, you are the person who decides what love looks like to you. Everyone's definition of love is not the same, and that's fine. As your favorite mental health specialist, it's so many different people that are going to be in alignment with this message, and every single one of you individually is allowed to believe and think as you choose. Take what resonates, leave the rest. With that being said, when you define your definition of love, make sure you practice that energy for yourself, because there are people in this world who have the same love language as you. It could be physically, it could be mentally, it could be emotionally, it could be spiritually, however it be. We've talked about previously the importance of having discernment and knowing who doesn't love you, who's not for you, so you're not surrounding yourself with people who take away from your love. Speaking from experience, once you realize that certain people don't love you in the way that you need to be loved or willing to try to love you or be there for you, you don't need to focus on them. And we talked about that in those videos, because a lot of times people meet people who are not for them, who don't mean them any well, whether it's for a long time or a short period of time, and they close off their heart and they stop being loving. From experience, I will never stop being a loving person just because other people have done things that I would never have done to them. Now, this is not to invalidate your experience, but this is why I make these videos for you, as well as a past version of myself, because I've been there and I've done that. Do I always agree with what people do and say? No. Is everyone always going to agree and do what people say when it comes to me? No. I don't expect that. But because I have certain boundaries, because I have certain love for myself, just because other people do things to you doesn't mean that that's who you are as a person. And me personally, because I've never and will never allow projections to get to me, you don't continue to have that energy for yourself. And I don't want that to be influenced or to be taught, especially when it comes to my audience, because this is very mature. We're very mature over here, okay? And mature is not an age, not a gender. You could be Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, hey, them, she, we, FG. And you have to know that how other people treat you is everything to do with them. And if you want to know who's genuinely going to love you, ask yourself, how do you love yourself? So it's like, define your definition of love. Know what you like. Know what you don't like. Set your boundaries. Learn from your past mistakes, because even though you may have poured into people and you gave your finances, your resources, your time with certain people, that doesn't mean there aren't people in the world who are not going to be able to reciprocate that energy or appreciate it. You need to know that you didn't lose anything when you gave your love, your time, energy into people. That was temporary. Speaking from experience, every single person that I gave my time, energy, and even finances to, and they're no longer in my life, I didn't lose myself. Now, in the moment, it does seem like, dang, I just gave this person $700. I just gave this person $75. I just drove all the way to see this person. Like, we do all those things in a moment, but it's just like, if you're abundant, if you're a loving person, none of that stuff goes away. And there's this misconception that I've been seeing that, like, when you're a good person, when you're a loving person, people are just constantly going to take advantage of you and abuse you. But it's just like, when do you point the finger back on you and realize that people can't take from you if you don't have your hand out? Close your hand. Only give to people who are giving to you. Like, it's nothing selfish about it. You have to realize that when you have certain standards, when you have certain boundaries, if you really love yourself, like you say, and you're not putting on a facade, you don't tolerate certain things. Like me personally, the way that I love myself, my standards are very high. Why? Because I created them and I can afford them. And I don't have problems with people who can reach them. I'm not lowering my standards just to make anybody feel comfortable. And that's the same thing with you. Like, why are you bending over backwards for people who would never do the same thing for you? Because what happens is, and what I've noticed with you all, because I'm here to call you out, okay? A lot of people come to me and they're like, Ty, in our sessions, this person did this to me and I would have never did this to them and I can't believe this, and you're the only person who's upset. You're the only person who feels some type of way. And it's just like, it's not to invalidate you, but because we're solution-based people over here, you got to be honest. We got to be practical. I'm not here to feed into your delusions. Just because you wouldn't do something for somebody doesn't mean they won't do that to you. And once you realize that you are not anybody other than yourself and nobody else is you, you have to learn how to let go of the disappointment. You won't be disappointed. Does it make it acceptable? Is it to condone it? No. But if you are mature, you're healing, you have to become aware. That's what healing really is about, is learning, is educational. Like, it could be entertaining, it could be fun. I'm trying to make the videos entertaining. I'm going to try to edit and make this a little bit more entertaining, but it's just like, I'm very like old school. So it's just like, let's do the groundwork and then celebrate later, because it's just like, the only time you feel disappointed is when you don't know any better. And just because, like I said, you feel some type of way, those people don't be caring. And I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. Like, a lot of people that I've noticed sugarcoat stuff. And it's just like, for what? If somebody really loves you, if I didn't really love you guys, if I didn't really care about you guys, I would just say anything. There are people in this world who manipulate people and they make trillions and billions of dollars of doing it. And they don't care. But what people fail to realize is, long term, looking from a bird's eye view, all that energy that people do to manipulate and steal, kill, and destroy, oh, it comes back. It comes back. All the spiritual warfare, all the evil eye, oh, you gotta pay a price. There are a lot of contracts and transactions being made everywhere in this world. You reap what you sow. It comes back. And it can come back at any time, in any way. Like, that's nothing you want to play with. Like, you always want to keep your hands clean. So it's just like, when people take advantage of you or whatever, just learn not to continue to give to them. But don't cut off who you are, because what happens is, those people that come into your life intentionally, I sound like Nicki Minaj, those people who try to come up against me didn't end me. And they thought they were. But like, when people do that, they want you to suffer. They don't want you to be with the people who do love you, because there are people in this world who are waiting for you. There are people in this world who are going to love you, who are going to meet your bare minimum. Like, you don't have to tell people what you like. They know. They pay attention to you. They ask you. They accommodate you. Like, they're willing to, let's just say, if you like to eat a certain candy, they're willing to get your candy when you want something to eat. Like, you don't have to tell them, oh, can you? No, they know, like, okay. Ladies, a man that loves you, he is willing to do things for you. Women, I said ladies already. Men, same thing with if a girl likes you, she's gonna do what you ask, as long as you are respectful. Like, it's not hard to do things for people when you care about them. So it's like, when people don't care about you, like, I've already made those videos, stop going back and forth with them, because it's like, you gave your time, your energy, and your effort, but it's like, what about you? And speaking from experience, as somebody who does have very high standards, when you have high standards, you get rid of people who are not willing to meet you where you are. And it's just like, okay, you're not meant to be here anyways. And I'm big on cutting people off. Like, I've cut off immediate family. I've blocked people. I will unfollow you. Like, I don't have to deal with it, because I do love myself. Now, once again, our definitions of love could be whatever they want to be. But it's just like, even when you have different love languages with people, when you get to know them, they're willing to respect you. If somebody really loves you, if somebody really wants to rock with you all the way to the end, till the wheels fall off, they're going to be patient, because patience is a form of kindness. Patience is a form of kindness. Patience is a form of intimacy, and intimacy doesn't always have to be physical, okay? Get your mind out the gutter, boys and girls. Like, when somebody loves you, when somebody cares about you, they're not going to hurt and harm you. Because if you are somebody who's like technical, or like you classify yourself as book smart, if you were to Google the word love and read the definition, anything that goes against what's being said as it being an adjective is invalid. It's a contradiction. It's hypocritical. So you need to realize what makes you feel loving, what you love and continue to focus on those things and continue to surround yourself with those people, places, and things so you don't have to worry about other people. And speaking from experience, it does take time. Like, a lot of us children are born with love. Even when we grow up in dysfunction and confusion, we sometimes don't have the understanding to realize. So it's just like a lot of us, all of us are born with love as a baby. A lot of people don't understand that. I'm not talking about on a worldly sense. Now this is getting a little bit deep. This is getting a little bit biblical and spiritual. If you guys know the vibes, I'm gonna keep it cute. But all of us are born out of love, especially if you say you believe in God. Because that's what God is. Especially if you say you believe in the universe or the ancestors. That's what love, that's the highest form, is love. Okay? Wake it up. All of us are born pure. It's not until we're exposed to certain people, places, and things. And then, that's when a lot of people lose their innocence. But it's just like, when you're a loving person internally, wake it up, you will always be that way. Don't allow people, and I made a video talking about that, don't allow people to discourage you. If you want people to show up, you got to show up. And like, when you go through your trials and tribulations and you realize certain people didn't love you, learn to forgive yourself. If you really love yourself, if you really care about yourself, you're going to stop beating yourself up. And like I said, this is a skill. Some of us, like I said, we've been like this our entire life. And for some people, it's new. Some people didn't grow up with love. Some people didn't receive love from their parents, their friends, caregivers. That's fine. Once you learn how to love yourself, receiving love from other people, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. I had to learn how to love myself before I was able to learn anybody else. I said learn and love. I had to learn myself, and I had to learn how to love myself before anybody else. And because I love myself more than I love anybody else, it's always going to be like that. It's not selfish to love yourself. Like, a lot of people fake confidence. A lot of people, oh yeah, I love myself. You love yourself, but yet you let people talk to you any type of way. You love yourself, but when people are confident in their mind and their business, you always have something to say. Waking up. That's not love. You're a hater. And that's what the opposite of love is. Don't let people hate on you. Don't think that everyone in the world is out to get you. Like I said, once you realize certain people are the way they are, move forward. And when you practice forgiveness, when you practice loving yourself, take your time. Speaking from experience, the best opportunities and the best relationships that I've experienced, you guys, now I'm starting to get blushing and get sentimental, were when I took my time. And when people took their time with me. Like, I'm not trying to speak too much into the existence, but if you want a husband or a wife, ladies and gentlemen, you got to get yourself together. So therefore, when you're meant to cross paths with those people, you're not sabotaging it. Because what happens is with a lot of people too, they'll end up sabotaging people because they don't know how to learn to, they haven't learned to love themselves. That's what a lot of people do. And if you guys want me to talk about that, I'll let you know. But a lot of people sabotage things prematurely because they're not used to love. They're not used to people being loyal. And that's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. Like, yeah, everyone is born pure ASF, but because of the amount of trauma, like, it's crazy. But if you want to know who's for you, and if you want to experience love at the highest form of vibration, learn to love yourself other than God. But I'm not here to get in that bag just yet. But if you know, you know. And anything that's not, like I said, what love looks like to you, don't tolerate it. Don't deal with it. Because it's disrespectful. Like, that's my thing. Like I said, people act like they're so loving, and it's just like, y'all are really disrespectful. Not you guys, but like just certain people I've experienced. And that's why it's just like, I don't even like giving anything that's out of love that much attention because it's negative. And I don't like to be negative. Some people like to be negative. We're not here to talk about those people, but there are people. And that's why I talk about both the good and the bad. So you're able to decide what makes sense to you and what works for you. And always take what resonates, leave the rest. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys sleep peacefully. Know that you are loved. If nobody told you that they love you, I do genuinely love people. Now, do I always like and agree with everybody? No, because everyone and everything doesn't have to like and agree with me. But like I said, love to me, a part of my definition of love has to do with respect. So it's like, you respect me, I respect you. We don't always have to see eye to eye. That doesn't mean I'm going to be disrespectful or be rude, you know? Like, that's catty. You guys, I don't know if you guys can see these dust bunnies from this blanket. These little red things. I don't know. Did you see that? These little things, that's what I was just trying to like clap in the air. It was just flying. But it's just like, you know, love yourself. Learn to love yourself. Make a list of the things that you love. Make a list of things that you don't love. And stick with it. And don't be scared to show love or receive love. That's a different topic within itself. Don't be afraid to receive love. If that's what you want, like I said, we got to use our brain. Over here, we use our brain to the fullest. You get one brain and it's for free. That's one of these things in the world that is free. Your brain. Over here, you gonna use it, okay? Because it don't make sense. You out here paying for Hulu subscriptions. You out here paying for weaves and bundles. You out here paying for vacations and trips to Dubai. But you're not gonna use your brain for free? And your heart for free? Don't let anybody make it seem like you using those things is not cool. And most importantly, love is free. Love is free. It doesn't cost much. Like, when people do things for you, yes, of course, like if you're romantic and you want to date or to go on a picnic or materials, yes, they have to pay for those things. But in order for people to pay for those things, they have to want to do it. It's a choice. You got to remember that. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, like I said, give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to comment down below. Turn on your post notifications. What time is it? Okay, I have 12 minutes to upload this video. It's the last day of January when I'm posting this. Let me know when you're watching this. And if you have questions, comments, concerns about love, healing, or whatever you guys want to talk about, I've been switching up the content because I know, you know, there's so many things that we could talk about when it comes to healing, mental health, and etc. And follow me on all social media platforms. I think I've already said that a couple of times. And if you're interested in this service or a session, head to my website at tigerhousedecember.com. I'll be going live on Instagram and on TikTok until we reach our goal. I keep emphasizing until we reach our goal because we need to reach our goal so we can reach our goal. Because I feel like on YouTube Live, I've had a YouTube before and I have a personal YouTube page. It just seems like more immediate because I get DMs as well as my services, and even on comments sometimes, like especially on my TikTok, I have more audience on TikTok. I'm not able to respond to every single message immediately because I also have a life. But it's just like I want to make sure that I'm able to respond. So it's like on live, I could read the questions and answer them. And not just that, you guys can get like the vibes in person, like virtually, of course. So let me know what you guys want to talk about, as well as I'm on live on Instagram and TikTok because I don't have that feature just yet on YouTube, but surely I will. And I want you to know that you're loved, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. Happy Black History Month. It's February 1st, probably when you watch this video. I love Black people, okay? I love all people, but there's a time and a place for certain people to have certain things. We're not here to knock anybody, okay? So be respectful. You know, if you have people in your life that are melanated, tell them Happy Black History Month, because you know it's a lot of things going on in this world. And let's just all respect each other, our races and genders, okay? And yeah, you are loved. Remember, define your definition of love. And anything or anybody who does not meet your standards of love, they don't have to. Just don't pour your love into them. You don't have to be disappointed once you realize some people can't love you how you love yourself. But I will say this, just because some people don't show you love the way you show yourself, you then have to make a decision if you want to receive the type of love they have. And that also may be a different topic for a different video. Like, how I love myself, I know certain people are not able to do because they don't love themselves the same way. But am I willing to accept and allow them in my life? Same thing with you. Ask yourself that, and don't stop being a good person. Don't stop loving just because certain people, didn't do that for you. Like I said, don't allow them to block your blessings in your life just because they don't love themselves, okay? And make sure you're willing to receive love. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.